Right now, risking your health or risking your paycheck. The challenge is facing school bus drivers as they prepare to get kids to class during a pandemic.
Plus, students also coping with back to school with some added stress. We'll have some advice from doctors on how to address mental health with your kids.
Gradually cooling down. We went from the 90s to the 70s, but perhaps more 60s in that extended forecast.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Oh, thanks for being with us, folks. It is Monday, August 31st, last day of August. Can't believe it. September starts tomorrow. Where's the time go?
Can you believe it? We're giggling about that. We're giggling that Chris Reese gets to join us this morning. We're a little spoiled on this Monday
Always good to have Chris in with us. Appreciate his time this morning. We're talking about back to school. It's a big day because a lot of kiddos start back tomorrow virtually. So school officials, they are, rethinking the entire school day basically right now, which begins and ends with transportation.
Our Gabriella Becerra joins us live in Spring Green to share the concerns of one bus driver who doesn't think it's safe enough. Good morning, Gabby.
Hi, Leah and Chris. The River Valley School District is giving families the choice between 4 days of in-person schooling or all virtual learning. And at the same time, the people who drive those kids to school also feel like they're going to have a difficult choice to make. Dale Ewers is a school bus driver in Spring Green and says many of his questions about safety on the bus were left unanswered. Now, Ewers says he has to make the decision to either go back to work and potentially become exposed to the virus or stay home and have no income.
It's more than just my concern. All of us and drivers are right around 60 years old and older. And I guess it doesn't matter what it's going to be like. They're going to have school no matter what. So.
Ewers says some of his routes are hours long, and with no air conditioning on the bus, he's concerned ventilation will be a problem. The River Valley School District is encouraging families that don't need to take the transportation to find their own. That way they leave more space on the bus for those who do need to take the transportation. Students will also be required to wear face masks, use hand sanitizer when entering the bus, and stay in their assigned seating.
All right. Yeah, Gabby, I know this was a big issue when it comes to school bus drivers, even before the pandemic. We had a nationwide shortage, and there are a lot of jobs out there available for folks, but there just aren't a lot of districts operating right now, which may be a good thing. So thanks, Gabby, for that. We'll talk with you coming up here in about 30 minutes. Also this morning, new studies say that young people are seeing the worst mental health impacts from the pandemic. Growing levels of anxiety and an inability to concentrate are shown to be hitting those under 25 years old more than any other age group. That's according to a survey from YouGov and the Resolution Foundation. They found young people are 3 times more likely to say that they're not enjoying their day-to-day activities as much as they did 2 years ago. Researchers also found that 33% of the under 25 population lost their job in the pandemic. That's compared to 1 in 6 of all adults, according to The Guardian. Well, doctors say it's also important for parents to be aware of their own mental health as the unconventional school year begins.
UW Health experts recommend a few steps to help keep you and your family on track. Accept the emotions that are there. Rate them so you can decide what to do about it. Then pick a coping strategy.
Moving and exercising can also help you if you feel depressed. Communication and breathing can also help.
I think people are going into roles that they haven't really been in before and have responsibilities that they haven't really taken on before. And there's a lot of questions about how well they're going to be able to come through on those for their children.
UW Health also recommends that you set an example for your kids about how to deal with stress and be patient and confident with your children.
6:03 now. People have been putting off going to the doctor, getting vaccines, even going to the ER, all because of COVID-19. But putting off those visits might not outweigh the risks of infection. As Consumer Reports explains, it's important to get the medical care you need, even during a pandemic. For weeks, Charlie Bednarz was experiencing persistent back pain and shortness of breath, but she decided not to see a doctor.
I felt that I wasn't sick, but just didn't want to go to the hospital, use up the resources.
Atticus, her trained therapy dog, sensing something might be wrong, started howling constantly. Charlie finally decided to call her cardiologist, who convinced her to go to the ER.
She says, "You suffered a major heart attack." And I'm thinking, You talking to me?
Charlie is not alone. Almost half of Americans said they or a family member skipped or put off medical care because of the pandemic.
People should not ignore serious symptoms. If you are experiencing a medical emergency, including signs of a heart attack or a stroke, call 911 or go to the ER immediately.
If you're unsure if you should go in for a screening test, office visit, checkup, or procedure, give your doctor's office a call.
They can let you know whether you should come in or not. The same applies to contacting your child's pediatrician about keeping your kids up to date with vaccines.
Going to the doctor will likely look and feel different. Beforehand, you may also be screened for COVID-19 symptoms by phone or email, and your temperature might be checked before stepping in the door. When you do arrive at the doctor's office, you may be asked to come alone and wait in the parking lot instead of the waiting room.
You should take the same precautions when going to your doctor's office as you would going anywhere else in public. So wear a mask, try to stay at least 6 feet away from other people, don't touch your face, and wash your hands or use hand sanitizer after touching anything.
After her surgery, Charlie has returned to the hospital several times for follow-up visits, and she has felt safe every time.
If you are experiencing anything that's different, at least make the call.
So you can also expect a lot of those same changes at your dentist's office. And those who need crowns replaced, fillings, or bridges, they might take priority over those who are due for a cleaning. So if you do have to delay that cleaning, just remember to brush and floss regularly.
All right, 6:05 is your time. Chris Reese is here with the Look at Your First Warn weather forecast. And Chris, things are starting to cool down a little bit. September 1st tomorrow. I don't know where the summer went.
Yeah, summer is seemingly out of here when you look at this forecast, especially down the road, Josh. This is the 6 to 10 day outlook. We're talking below normal temperatures likely for a good portion of the United States. But the further you are to the upper Midwest, the more likely you are to experience temperatures that are below normal. Here's what we're watching. This is the upper air pattern. Watch this. This is Thursday afternoon. We're looking 5,000 feet up here, and here's a shot of cooler air starting to work its way in out of Canada. Now, towards the weekend, we rebound a little bit. Then we start to see that secondary push of some cooler air working its way on in here into parts of next week. That being said, this is our 10-day temperature trend. Typically, we see our average highs into the upper 70s. We're talking being as much as 10 degrees below average by next week, with some of those temperatures into the upper 60s. Now, in the meantime, we're staying comfortable with 70 sticking around. We'll see sunshine, but our shower chances are here as well. We've been watching those back towards the north and west all morning long. What I'm watching is this cluster of showers and thunderstorms. My expectation is that we're going to see a tail start to develop back towards the south of that. Already, we're starting to see some of that along I-35. Well, that will begin to push towards southern Wisconsin, leading to more chances to see those showers and thunderstorms. It's a weak cold front coming through, but at the end of the day, you won't notice necessarily the biggest change in our temperature, but nonetheless, we'll at least see that chance for some showers before we begin to clear on out. Here's how we look right now. That sun is starting to rise. Temperatures are into the 50s for us. 58 for Lone Rock, Monroe coming in at 58, Watertown also at 59 there. But we take you hour by hour. Here's my expectation going through the rest of the day. This is 10:30. Watch this little thin line of showers of thunderstorms moving through. Again, it's not all that impressive, but nonetheless, that's our rain chance today. This is 12:30. This is when I expect those rain chances to move right on top of the Madison area. Then we'll clear on out and then eventually drop down into the 50s for your overnight lows tonight. 74 for your Tuesday, 78 on Wednesday, 70 sticking around through the weekend with plenty of sunshine. Friday and Saturday, another chance of rain for Sunday. Labor Day looks cool and dry.
Boy, I'm excited for the Labor Day weekend. Little intro into fall, huh?
Yeah, it's going to feel really, really good. I'm super excited for this.
Break out the sweaters, the pumpkin spice.
My sweaters are always out.
I know that.
All year
Sweater
long.
vest. Thank you, Christopher.
My pleasure.
6:08 now. Protests in Kenosha continue ahead of a visit to that city by the president on Tuesday. Jacob Blake's family led a march and rally Saturday, continuing to demand justice after he was shot 7 times in the back by a police officer. More than 1,000 gathered for that march. Meanwhile, the local police union is defending Officer Rustin Sheshke's shooting, arguing that Blake posed a threat to police. Blake is now paralyzed and still recovering in a Milwaukee hospital.
Breaking overnight, the Kenosha Police Department says it will not be holding a press conference today as it prepares for that visit from the president. In lieu of holding a briefing, it's releasing new numbers from protests over the weekend. The department says its officers took more than 20 guns and arrested at least 175 people. 102 of those arrests are from people not from Kenosha and from 44 different cities. Kenosha police say this is the information they would have released if they had held a conference today.
Some state leaders are worried the president's presence could do more harm than good. Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes said yesterday a presidential visit could actually make division in the community worse.
You look at the incendiary remarks that the president has made. They centered an entire convention around creating more animosity and creating more division around what's going on in Kenosha. So I don't know how, given any of the previous statements that the president made, that he intends to come here to be helpful. And we absolutely don't need that right now.
The mayor of Kenosha also expressed concern about the visit. In an interview with NPR, the Democrat said he does not want President Trump to visit his city right now.
Former Governor Scott Walker says he hopes the president still comes to Kenosha this week. In a tweet, the Republican said that there is no doubt that President Trump helped stop the chaos in Kenosha. I'm happy he's coming on Tuesday. He can help rebuild this great city and make it even better for everyone. Last night, we did hear from the White House Deputy Press Secretary about the president's visit. He said President Trump looks forward to visiting on Tuesday and helping this great city heal and rebuild. The White House has been humbled by the outreach of individuals from Kenosha who have welcomed the president's visit and are longing for leadership to support local law enforcement and businesses that have been vandalized.
6:10 right now. We're tracking a new crash into the First Warren Traffic Center this morning. This is up in Columbia County, just to the southwest of Portage along I-90 westbound, right after Highway 33 there. We can see some delays really popping up there. So we're going to keep an eye on that crash back here closer to Madison. No real problems out there. Beltline looking so far so good. A few slowdowns in and around downtown as you head in, especially from Park Street and West Washington Avenue. We'll keep an eye on that crash and have another update for you coming up at 6:30. That's your First Warren Traffic.
Coming up, health officials investigating the first possible case of someone catching COVID-19 twice in the U.S.
Plus, officials warning of the risks of rushing a vaccine for the virus. Why they say moving too fast could actually make the pandemic worse. That's when News 3 Now this morning continues. Stay with us.
The Golf Range and Suites of By10's Golfland provides safe fun. Golf range buckets and balls are sanitized after each use, and high-touch areas are regularly sanitized. Full grill and bar service is provided safely to your golf suite by wait staff. Try fun, easy-to-play Top Tracer games like Go Fish, only at By10's Golfland.
Don't miss out on these great deals at Gobin Cars Grand Opening Sale. Where can you buy 2018 or 2019 new body-style Chevy Equinoxes starting only $14,995 or $233 per month?
That's right. Buy a 2018 or 2019 new body-style Chevy Equinox starting at only $14,995 or $233 per month. So just hurry in today and ask for my dad, Don the Dealman Gobin.
Or my daughter, Crystal the Pistol Gobin.
You gotta go to Gobin, GobinCars.com.
Fight against all types of deposits and temperatures with Valvoline Daily Protection Motor Oil. Designed to keep engines clean. It's just $2.99 a quart after 11% rebate. Forever Green Fall Turf Food is a ready-to-use formula that covers up to 10,000 square feet of yard. A bag is only $12.99 after 11% rebate. Stop waiting and start saving with 11% off everything. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Check it out. You'd be crazy to do this drug.
But even crazier to do that drunk. Drive sober on your wheels.
And we mean all your wheels.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. This drug remains approved by the FDA. If you or a loved one regularly took Zantac and were later diagnosed with cancer, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Potential cancers include bladder cancer, colon cancer, kidney cancer, stomach cancer, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer. Do not stop taking a prescribed medication without first consulting with your doctor. Discontinuing a prescribed medication without your doctor's advice can result in injury or death.
Call 1-800-670-2995.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh? With the Pick and Save app, you can get personalized coupons on top of weekly sales and rewards like fuel points, all for prices that are lower than the everyday low. So go ahead, get lower than low. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
By 10's Golfland offers 3 award-winning 18-hole miniature golf courses, 2 outside and 1 inside, all open day and night. Have peace of mind. Miniature golf clubs and balls are sanitized after each use, and high-touch areas are regularly sanitized. Enjoy safe fun for everyone at By 10's Golfland.
Just about 6:15 now, an update on Tropical Storm Laura. The number of deaths related to that storm is now at 17. The Louisiana Department of Health is reporting 2 additional fatalities this morning. It says a 57-year-old man died from head injuries sustained in a fall from a roof. The department says another resident died of carbon monoxide poisoning. 3 people who died of such poisoning in Texas had a generator running.
We're also keeping our eye on power outages along the Gulf Coast. Parts of Louisiana might not have power for weeks after Hurricane Laura ravaged some parts of the power grid. 360,000 customers were in the dark this morning at last check. That's 3 days after the hurricane hit. More than 29,000 workers from 29 states are there now to help restore power.
Developing this morning, though power and water restoration remain the biggest priorities, some key monitors remain off in Louisiana this morning. Hazardous emissions from a chlorine plant fire abruptly closed oil refineries and other industrial plants damaged by the storm may be pushing harmful toxins to the air. Both state and federal air quality monitors, which would alert the public to leaks, are still not back up and running. So far, the state has not requested assistance from FEMA or the Environmental Protection Agency to monitor air quality, but the EPA says it stands ready if the state does make the call. Meteorologist Aaron White is continuing.
Yeah, it certainly has been a very active hurricane season so far, as we are still seeing a bit of activity right now in the Atlantic. We've already had 13 named storms on average for the entire season. We only see about 10 or 11, so we're way ahead of average, and we haven't even reached the peak of hurricane season. Right now, we are looking at 2 areas of likely development over the course of the next 2 to 5 days. The National Hurricane Center giving that about a 70 to 80% chance of that happening. A couple more waves off in the Atlantic. Those have a little bit lower chance, but still you can see those tropical waves coming off the coast of Africa, and that's just a sign that we are seeing a very active season. And I want to take you back to the last several months as we go back to May 1st. This is prior to the start of the official hurricane season. We already had 2 named storms, Arthur and Bertha. These were actually right before the start of hurricane season, which is June 1st. And then we really started to ramp up as we went into June, July, and August, already up to, again, 13 named storms. We're already past Marco. The next storm would be Nana, if something does develop over the course of the next 2 to 5 days. So like I mentioned, just a very active start. The last time we were this active was well back in 2005. You remember Katrina, Rita, and Wilma, just very powerful storms back then.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier. I grew up in Houston. I remember 2005 so vividly. I've been through many hurricanes, but 2005 was the one year we evacuated as Rita began to come our direction. So I'm thankful that we're quiet here in Wisconsin. We don't have any tropical systems coming our way. We're going to take a moment this morning to enjoy just some of that quiet weather that we have around. This is the sunrise in Leah's neck of the woods. This is Platteville right now. We're watching that sunrise on our Queen Bee Radio Tower camera. Here in Madison, we're seeing a little bit more in the way of cloud cover on that horizon now. Temperatures are at 57. The air is calm. We're going to be watching those rain chances as we go throughout the day. I'll have further details coming up in a few minutes.
Now, I might be biased, but isn't that a pretty Southwest Wisconsin sunrise?
Oh, it was such a beautiful shot, Leah.
The prettiest
Our outfits matched.
Oh, very good. There she is.
For a moment there was some orange. It's starting to turn pink now, but our outfits did match.
Platteville, Wisconsin, let me tell you. Thank you, Chris.
My pleasure.
6:18 now. Nevada health officials say the U.S. appears to have its first case of a COVID-19 reinfection. A 25-year-old man there got sick in April. Then he recovered, testing negative twice. But in late May, he experienced symptoms again and tested positive. Nevada's Public Health Laboratory says genetic tests indicate he caught 2 different versions of the virus.
New predictions from a leading coronavirus model, the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation at the University of Washington, projects 317,000 people will die in the U.S. by December. The U.S. just hit 180,000 deaths over the weekend, and we're on track to record our 6 millionth case today. Wisconsin's total case count is now more than 75,000. That is according to combined data from DHS and county dashboards. The state saw 495 new cases over the last 24 hours. 10.5% of tests over the past day have come back positive. The state's 7-day average over the past 2 weeks remains at about 8%. 3 more people have died from complications of the virus. About 7,500 cases remain active.
The head of the FDA says he's willing to fast-track a COVID-19 vaccine, but not for political reasons. Axios reports Stephen Hahn said the FDA could issue an emergency use authorization before phase 3 trials on a vaccine are over. Hahn stressed the decision will be based on science and data, not politics. This conversation, of course, comes just over 2 months until the presidential election. Health experts are warning against moving too fast with possible vaccines, though, saying if a vaccine isn't up to par, it could actually make the pandemic worse. Right now, companies are targeting for a vaccine that shows 30 to 50% effectiveness. The first vaccine that's approved will likely become the standard that all others are based on. Experts tell The Guardian if the first one is inferior, all succeeding vaccines run the risk of also being less effective.
6:20 right now. Traffic jams and waiting for the light to change could soon be a thing of the past. Why flying cars may no longer be a thing just in the movies.
And coming up in our next half hour, bus drivers still on the ground. They're sharing their concerns for their health as they get kids to class during a pandemic. That's when News 3 Now This Morning continues. Stay with us.
Dear Penny, heads we stay local, tails we hit the road. With a new Toyota, you'll always land a winner. Your friends, Toyota.
Get 1.9% financing for 60 months on a new 2020 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid. Toyota.
A1 Furniture and Mattress on Stoughton Road is now open, featuring affordable in-stock name brands for every room, with a huge selection that's hard to beat. That's why we're A1, locally owned and operated since 1980.
Wow, is that really me?
Here, I don't look 61 in 3 weeks. I have no wrinkles, no bags, and this is only because of Plexiderm.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I? I'm just in love with the mirror right now.
Plexiderm is a wonderful product. I look at least 10 years younger.
It's a facelift in a jar.
The people you're watching have just seen themselves in the mirror for the first time since we applied Plexiderm to their problem areas. Their reactions are real, and so are the results from using Plexiderm. What's even more amazing is that it takes less than 10 minutes. Now you can watch your under-eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet visibly disappear for just $14.95 by going to plexidermtrial.com and taking the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge.
I'm Neela. I'm 61 years old. I'm a professional personal trainer. It's so important to be in good health and to be fit and take care of yourself. How it makes you feel inside is amazing. And yet, when you look in the mirror, what you see necessarily isn't what you feel inside. Plexiderm, seriously, it fixes all that. It makes you feel as good outside as you do inside. Honest to God, it's amazing. There's nothing there. Like, the bags are gone.
This is really good. This is, I'm going to fill my bathtub with this stuff and get the whole body this time. All these lines are gone. I feel like a new woman.
The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shale clay. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms, rapidly reducing the appearance of under-eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet. At our $14.95 price, it's the best time to try Plexiderm and see it work for yourself. So if under-eye bags make you look tired and older, take the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge today for only $14.95. Just go to plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
At Papa Murphy's, we knead seriously, chop seriously, and shred seriously. Because we're serious about Tuesdays, even if you're not. Every Tuesday, get a large pizza for just $10. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
Dear Penny, heads we stay local, tails we hit the road. With a new Toyota, you'll always land a winner. Your friends, Toyota.
Get $1,500 customer cash on a new 2020 Highlander or Highlander Hybrid. Toyota.
All right, right, we always ask you to share your morning with us. We love to feature some animals.
Oh, dear.
Oh, cute.
Okay.
Chris Reese is not impressed.
Hey, I actually did see a deer coming into the station parking lot this morning. There's always a couple of them that hang out right by the entrance.
There are. It's always the deer or the turkey.
The turkey,
outside the station. So Anita sent this picture in from Lone Rock, Wisconsin, quite near to Highland. Yeah, we love a good deer shot. Anita, nice job.
Show us what you're up to in the morning. Snap a picture, post it on our social media pages, and use the hashtag MyNews3Morning.
All right, from the Jetsons to Back to the Future and Blade Runner, we've been watching flying cars for a long time. We've been waiting for them to fly into our garage.
Oh, we have. Now that could soon become a reality, guys. Take a look at this. A Japanese company has successfully tested a manned flying car for the first time. It took off and circled the test field for about 4 minutes before landing at a test demonstration last week. The company says they'll continue to develop technologies to safely and securely launch the flying car. Get this. 2023, so just a few years away.
Okay, so I have some notes from our producer. So the Blade Runner predicted that we'd have flying cars by 2019.
Ooh,
Back to the Future thought we'd have them by 2015.
Yeesh.
The Jetsons, though, didn't think we'd have them until 2062.
Oh, so we're a little ahead. Okay. Chris Reese said earlier, this is not a car for a family like Chris Stanford, right? Like, where are you putting the kids?
Where am I putting the car seats?
In that helicopter.
I need 3 rows.
One on each wing.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that. I was like, we've got seats. You can strap them on.
We got to work on that.
I love it. All right.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's take a look at the forecast. Keeping an eye on some showers and storms there, Chris.
Yeah, that's right. We need some more rain, unless you're essentially in Portage or Poynette, where they really got socked in with some rain last week. Elsewhere, we still are behind on the rainfall. I'm watching this line of showers and thunderstorms start to develop now. That's going to be moving our direction and here right around lunchtime.
Thanks, Chris. We'll be back right after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 15 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I back MyPillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota.
I really like the fact that it was made in the USA. I think that USA products are a better quality product. I've tried a lot of other pillows and nothing's worked like MyPillow.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now to give you deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but also my mattress toppers, sheets, and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regular $89.99, now only $29.99, or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Giza Dream sheets. They are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
The Go Anywhere pillow is so easy to just roll up and take anywhere I want to go.
Go Anywhere pillow is really comfortable, so that's what I really like. It's nice and supportive and it's nice and small.
The MyPillow topper for the first time has enabled me to have a cool night's sleep. I'm able to go to bed and just get rest.
That's 3 inches of wonderful that's in the MyPillow mattress topper. It's just like a firm cloud.
MyPillow helps me get a good night's sleep so I can do my job in the morning.
Go to MyPillow.com to get deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but so much more. For example, you get body pillows regular $89.99, now only $29.99, or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
FDR lifted this country out of the Great Depression. Obama saved us from the great financial collapse. Trump faced the coronavirus pandemic and froze, paralyzed by denial and fear and indecision. It didn't have to be this bad, but Trump's lack of leadership cost lives, hitting seniors the hardest and devastating nursing homes. Donald Trump failed, and it's our seniors who are paying the ultimate price.
Trust us to get it right. These storms are capable of producing some heavy rain and maybe some hail.
To keep you prepared
when severe weather is on the way.
We have an alert day in the forecast for this evening for strong to possibly severe thunderstorms, hail, high winds, perhaps even an isolated tornado can't be ruled out.
And your family's safety is on the line.
You need to seek shelter immediately.
Our team and technology are ready to help you stay safe.
Trust the First Warn Weather Team on News 3 Now.
A chance for change. The Senate will meet for a special session today. What's on the line and what activists hope to see come out of it?
A chance for showers and thunderstorms. I'm watching Doppler track this morning as a cold front begins to approach from the north and west.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, folks, and happy Monday. We're glad you're waking up with us. A lot of families are getting ready for the first day of school tomorrow already, and you know it's going to look much different this year than ever before.
Yeah, this year, one of the major considerations a lot of parents are taking is how to find childcare. In Dane County, all students except those pre-K through second grade will start classes virtually. A lot of districts are 100% virtual. That decision gave parents less than 2 weeks to find ways to accommodate their work schedules with their child's education plan. And finding that can be pretty tough. As of May, the Wisconsin Policy Forum finds almost half of Dane County's licensed child care providers were closed. Some employees at the Madison Metropolitan School District are expected to help with its child care program or resign. The district announced its plans earlier this month to expand its MSCR Cares program for the summer. It provides child care during the normal school day for up to 1,000 kids at 16 sites. Well, now the Cap Times reports a letter tells some hourly employees that they can resign if they choose not to take the reassignment. It's signed by the district's chief human resources officer. A district spokesperson says that the administration wanted to use taxpayer money responsibly by reassigning positions, instead of hiring new people to staff the child care program. He says the employees would be able to go back to their traditional jobs when schools go back in person. As coronavirus continues to restructure professions, school bus drivers are learning what their job will look like now.
Our Gabriella Becerra joins us live in Spring Green to share the concerns of one driver who feels like his responsibilities are now being stretched too thin. Good morning, Gabby.
Hi, Leah and Chris. Well, bus drivers have many jobs: to greet students, make sure they're staying in their seats, and to ensure that they get to school and back safely. But one driver here in Spring Green is concerned that his job is no longer safe. Now, Dale Ewers will have to greet students by making sure they have a mask and use hand sanitizer before boarding the bus. It's also his responsibility to make sure students sit where they're supposed to and keep those masks on. Ewers says in his experience as a driver, it's going to be difficult.
It didn't make much sense the way, especially when you're piling that many kids on certain buses. It's kind of, I think it's dangerous. I mean, you're driving the bus, you're trying to keep track. You got to make sure the kids sit in their assigned seats, make sure they all have their masks on, and still drive the bus safely.
Ewers says none of the drivers or students need to be tested for COVID-19 before school starts and doesn't know what happens if someone does test positive. But the River Valley School District is encouraging those who don't need to use their transportation to use their own. That way they leave more room on the bus for those who do need it. They're also requiring that students wear masks at all times, use hand sanitizer when boarding the bus, and stay in their assigned seats.
Yeah, Gabby, a lot of these districts that are running bus service, those buses aren't going to be nearly as full because a lot of parents, we've heard, are choosing that option to provide their own transportation. Important stuff this morning. Thanks for that report, Gabby. The Wisconsin Senate will meet today to hold a special session about police reform. Governor Evers called the session after a Kenosha police officer shot Jacob Blake in the back 7 times. The governor introduced the package of criminal justice reforms earlier this summer after the death of George Floyd. Some of the proposals include creating statewide use of force standards and requiring annual de-escalation training for officers. The chamber won't debate anything immediately and will work through dozens of proposals in the coming months.
A local advocacy group will host a press conference and protest surrounding the special session. At 10:30 this morning, Urban Triage says Black Caucus members will take the mic to talk about the importance of passing these reforms. Representatives Sheila Stubbs and David Bowen are expected to participate just 2 hours before the special session begins. Then at 6 tonight, Urban Triage will host a protest on the Capitol steps. The group says it is demanding Republicans and Democrats invest in Black communities, families, and children. Now, Urban Triage, not the only group hoping to see some changes. Madison's Black Chamber of Commerce is asking for police reform at the local level with the Madison Police Department. Claude Gilmore told our Christina Laurie over the weekend they're hoping for more community investment in the form of the developing Civilian Oversight Board, an independent police monitor position, and a new police chief. He says how policing is being done right now is causing more harm than good.
The police and the way of policing is being done is not helping our community. As a matter of fact, it's causing a lot of pain, as you might know, as a result of what occurred regarding Jacob Blake.
Gilmore commented on recent protests as well, saying community members are in pain, but that protests are about raising your voice, not about doing damage. He says the Black Chamber of Commerce does not support that kind of activity.
Breaking overnight, one day before President Trump's scheduled visit to Kenosha, the police department says it won't participate in today's news briefing. And instead of answering questions publicly, the department is releasing these statistics about protests over the past week. They say this is what they would have shared at the briefing today. The department says its officers took more than 20 guns and arrested at least 175 people. 102 of those arrests are people not from Kenosha, from 44 different cities. Since the department won't participate in today's briefing, we won't know what precautions the department is taking for President Trump's visit to ensure it's safe for everyone planning to participate or protest.
Governor Evers is concerned about the reallocation of resources needed to accommodate the president's visit to Kenosha and wants President Trump to reconsider it. In a letter addressed to the president, Governor Evers says the visit will require a massive redirection of resources to support the visit when those resources should be focused on keeping people in Kenosha safe. President Trump's deputy press secretary said that the president is excited to visit tomorrow and is humbled by the people of Kenosha who have reached out. In an interview with CNN, Republican Senator Ron Johnson says there are agitators everywhere and that none of the violence we've seen is justified.
You allow for peaceful protests, but you don't allow peaceful. You don't allow peaceful protests to turn siege into siege. Listen, I don't want to see anybody lose their life. I don't want to see the violence continue. I don't want to see businesses burned down. I don't want to see economic destruction. I condemn it all.
During that interview, Senator Johnson offered up some suggestions for stopping the violence by increasing manpower and resources. He said that could happen through supporting the National Guard as well as citizen soldiers.
Ahead of President Trump's visit, protesters in Kenosha are showing their support for the police department. Back the Blue supporters say the video appearing to show Blake being shot 7 times is shocking, but they say they still stand with the officer, some calling it justified because officers found a knife in the car afterward. A reminder, the Department of Justice still hasn't said whether police knew about the knife before the shooting. Now, the rally remained peaceful, but arguments with Black Lives Matter supporters and passersby did get heated at times. Officials in Portland still aren't saying much this morning, days after a man was shot and killed at a protest in that city. It happened on Saturday as supporters of President Trump and protesters against police clashed. Portland officers have not released any information about the victim other than that person was shot in the chest. Reporters at the scene say the victim is a man associated with a right-wing political group. Officers have not named a suspect yet. They're asking anyone with video to contact them. President Trump tweeted, "Rest in peace," about the death.
Joe Biden will speak about the recent violence in an effort to talk about his campaign's vision for a better future. Today, the Democratic presidential candidate will speak in Pittsburgh. Biden plans to blame Donald Trump for encouraging division and chaos across the country instead of calming tensions. President Trump has said Biden wouldn't be able to stop the violence and is weak on crime.
Just about 6:38 right now. Chris Reese is here with a look at your forecast. And Chris, Doppler track looking a little active across parts of the region this morning.
Yeah, things are certainly lighting up. We're watching that next chance for showers and thunderstorms to move in as early as this afternoon. Here's how Doppler track looks for us right now. Some of those showers and thunderstorms have already made it into parts of the Northwoods. You work your way closer towards La Crosse. There's some lightning and thunder just towards the west view. Now, that still has some way to go before that gets to us right here closer to the Madison area. But even still, I'm watching a couple of showers that have popped up towards the north of Lone Rock, west of Dodgeville, just east of Fenimore. So there's a little bit of unsettledness out there per se. But still, we're going to watch those clouds begin to increase as we go through the rest of your morning and into the afternoon. And as these showers move in, they've got plenty of lightning with them. They're not severe, but nonetheless, we're going to see those showers or thunderstorms. Here's what's keeping us overall drier out ahead of these. We still have high pressure in control. that's kept the sunshine around earlier on this morning. But as winds start to come out of the south and east with that clockwise flow around high pressure, that's what's adding just enough moisture to fuel in that line of showers or thunderstorms as it moves closer to us. Here are those clouds on the increase outside right now. Temperature-wise, we're at 57. Things are fairly comfortable for us, but we're mostly cloudy. The air is calm. Dew points are into the mid-50s. You need those dew points in the mid-50s to get enough moisture for showers. Not always, but around this time of the year. That is one thing that is for sure. 59 for Janesville right now. Mineral Point coming in at 57. Basketball at 61. All of us are into the 50s and 60s. We put this into motion. Here's how things begin to play out. This clock has stopped. It's 10:30 in the morning. You see that thin little stripe of those showers of thunderstorms starting to race on in. We're still dry in Madison until we get to lunchtime. Now we're at 12:30. Those showers of thunderstorms are popping up anywhere from about Watoma down through Westfield, down through Portage and Poynette, through Mazomanie, Mount Horeb, all the way down towards places like Highland. And then as we start to work our way towards the evening time, that's when we'll start to dry out. Eventually, we'll see more sunshine coming our way as temperatures fall back down into the 50s later on tonight. Beyond that, it is the colder air that's to come. Rainfall amounts will not be all that heavy. Temperatures are going down into the 60s by the time we get you towards this time next week. I actually just looked at a model run just now. Don't know that I buy it, but it would suggest having temperatures in the 50s for highs at points next week. Something to watch for sure, but for now, I can fairly confidently say we're going to see a little cool down as we move towards the extended forecast.
You know Chris Reese has a sweater vest ready, Josh.
Oh, for sure. I'm surprised he's not digging it out already.
You know, I almost forgot my sweater vest this morning. I turned around and got it.
Of course you did.
They look good.
Well, thank you very much.
Man.
I appreciate it.
'Tis the season with that forecast.
Yes.
All right, Chris, thank you. Breaking news into the newsroom this morning. A silver alert is issued for a 68-year-old man from Sheboygan. Take a look at your screen. Armando Rodriguez is 5'6", weighing around 190 pounds. The Department of Justice says they think he's either in Milwaukee or the Wisconsin Dells this morning. He has white hair and brown eyes and hasn't been seen since around 9 o'clock last night. He does have a history of Alzheimer's. You can find all of this information and more up on channel3000.com. A look at your first warn traffic update right now. We want to keep an eye on that crash right now. This is up in Columbia County this morning, the westbound lanes of I-90. The left lane is closed after a rollover accident. This is just past Highway 33 right now. We have seen some significant delays up there, so you might want to route around that if you are heading westbound up in Columbia County this morning. Back here in Madison, off to a pretty good start. I do want to let you know about a lane closure along Gorham Street. This is due to some sewer work from Livingston to Butler, so you'll probably want to route around that as well during the morning commute. That's a look at your first warn traffic. Let's take a look outside this morning. Beautiful shot there from the Edgewater Skycam. Starting off another week, and it's going to be feeling a little bit more fall-like as we enter September. Chris is keeping an eye on that forecast when we come back.
And instead of excitement and anticipation for the fall, your kids might be feeling more anxious than usual ahead of the school year. We're going to hear from a pediatrician on how to help your kids manage those big changes when we return. Stay with us.
Autumn adventurers, run with Sloan. Save $500 on full-size and $300 on mid-size John Deere Gator XUVs. Plus, get 0% for 48 months. Get a John Deere Gator during Gear Up for Fall. And
Powered up with Sloan.
Great decision on your new windows. Buy one, get one won't last long.
Have you always been so passionate about windows?
Felco's buy one, get one free windows is totally rad. Felco's energy-efficient windows are a must in every home. So hurry, call now.
You could say that.
Buy one window, get one free, and get no interest for 1 year.
Buy one, get one free, and soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Felco.
Habitat for Humanity of Dane County continues building and bringing stability to families through homeownership. As area families experience hardships, Habitat provides a pathway to financial security and independence. Strengthen our community. Support Habitat Dane County.
Lately, we've found new ways to support and care for each other. And while every gesture counts, so too does every dollar. That's why American Family Insurance is returning $425 million to our customers. This includes a 10% savings for all current and new auto customers for the rest of the year. We hope this does your world some good and reminds you that supporting your dreams means the world to us. Contact your agent or go to amfam.com to learn about more ways to save.
Your parents spent years taking care of you, but as the years go by, it becomes your turn to take care of them. This might mean trusting a nursing home, which promises to care for them as cherished loved ones. But if the nursing home you've chosen is not keeping their promise, we can help. If your parents have been injured in a nursing home, call Habish, & Rotier. We fight for what's right.
Hey, Culligan. Got a water pitcher for the fam. Pretty safe, huh?
Well, basic water pitchers are passable, whereas a Culligan reverse osmosis system can reduce lead, arsenic, pesticide runoff.
Not going fast enough. Just done with that.
Autumn adventurers, run with Sloan. Save $500 on full-size and $300 on mid-size John Deere Gator XUVs. Plus, get 0% for 48 months. Get a John Deere Gator during Gear Up for Fall. And
Powered up with Sloan.
Accurate news as it happens, right here where you live. Information that you can use from the team you can trust. For more local stories that impact your life, News 3 Now.
Wisconsin voters deserve the truth. I'm News 3 Now's Amy Reed. I'm breaking down political ads, explaining whose money is behind them and separating truth from misinformation. Get the facts with Reality Check, only on News 3 Now.
You know, this back-to-school season feels very different for many kids, whether they're starting virtual or in person. Instead of feeling excitement right now, a lot of them are feeling anxious or stressed out.
You might be able to relate. Amanda Quintana has more on how you can help them manage those feelings in this week's Time for Kids segment.
This is an odd start to the school year for everyone, so it's understandable that it's bringing up negative feelings in students. They're bummed out. SSM Health pediatrician Dr. Dan Beardmore says all kids are going to need counseling. Not a counselor, but they're all going to need support, someone to recognize their feelings. He says in most instances, kids just want to talk to their parents.
Kids are getting depressed and sad and stressed. They're missing their friends. They're missing their activities. They're sick of being in the home. They're sick of their parents. And the adult caregivers in their lives can help them through that.
Dr. Beardmore says while Zoom play dates with friends are creative, they can only go so far. He says small, safe gatherings are okay. They can help kids feel more connected. Just talk to the other family about how they're being safe. He says during these small get-togethers, kids should be wearing a mask.
Hope my kids aren't sick of me right now.
I know. That made us all giggle.
There's been a lot of, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are feeling that way because everybody's been home. We've been around each other for better part of a year now, right?
Who could be sick of Chris Stanford?
Yeah, right. But I think for I would know I can name a few people off the top of my mind.
Come on, give him a break.
You know, in all seriousness, no, like younger kids seem to have an easier time with this. They're not thinking of the bigger picture stuff. They're thinking of it like more simply, like I want to see my friends, I miss my teachers, you know, stuff like that. You know, talking with our kids, it's just kind of mentally preparing them for what back to school is going to look like. You know, reinforcing social distancing, the reason why we have to wear masks, you know, the importance of hand washing and everything. You know, like, we got to do these things to get back to normal eventually, you know.
Very important conversation to have with your kids.
Yeah.
Important to listen right now.
Gotta have a little patience. I think we all could learn some lessons from that. 6:47 right now. Chris Reese says look at your forecast and gonna want the umbrella as you head out today.
Yeah, especially for lunchtime anyway. We're waking up to dry conditions outside right now. The clouds are on the increase. We are at 57. We'll be warming up into the 70s today, but you'll notice 12 o'clock. Temperatures will be into the low 70s. That's when we'll see a little stripe of showers and thunderstorms on radar moving our way. It'll clear out with some spotty showers. Then we should actually see the sunset later on this evening.
Like the sound of that, Chris. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Stick around. The morning sprint is coming up after the break.
But first, it is August 31st, and we want to say happy birthday to Ella and all the other kids turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with us on News 3 Now this morning.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Wild Easttown Honda has clearance savings on over 400 new Hondas. Get 0% financing for up to 60 months on your favorite new Hondas at Wild Easttown Honda in Madison. It's gotta be wild.
Now I get to make a difference in people's lives the way that the nurses that took care of my grandma made a difference in her life.
Now is the time to change your life. Herzing University makes it possible without leaving home. Herzing offers dozens of online degrees in nursing, healthcare, IT, and business. Start studying online and take the first step toward a new career.
I'm an ICU nurse.
I'm possible at Herzing.
Your eyes are everything. They're how you see the world and connect with others. At SHOPKO Optical, your eyes are everything to us too, which is why we offer everything to help you see better and look better. A huge selection of designer frames, convenient locations, and experienced optometrists. We're SHOPKO Optical. You'll see. Right now, get 50% off lenses with the purchase of any frames.
Bad sleep.
Oh, the worst.
You know, there's really no excuse for bad sleep. During the Labor Day sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Or to celebrate our newest arrival, come in and test out the outrageously comfortable Casper mattress. Check out the Summit Queen, only $189.99. Plus 5 years no interest and free shipping. The Labor Day sale, on now at Denver Mattress.
When looking for a TV and internet provider, we know you have a choice. This is Jessica. She still has satellite TV.
Well, I get tons of HD.
Spectrum has tons of HD, and we love Spectrum's 24-hour local news channel. Plus, we get exclusive access to premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
I don't have that.
Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-976-4499.
Spectrum Internet starts at 200 megabits with no data caps and a free modem.
We have to get internet from another company, and it isn't nearly as fast.
Spectrum Internet, $44.99 a month.
I'd switch, but I'm stuck in a contract and would have to pay up to $480 to cancel.
Spectrum has no contracts, and they'll pay up to $500 to help you out of yours.
That's it. I'm switching to Spectrum.
Get Spectrum TV and internet from $44.99 a month each. Call 833-976-4499.
Wild Easttown Honda has clearance savings on 400 new Hondas. Lease a new all-wheel drive CR-V for $269. That's $269 and absolutely zero due at signing at Wild Easttown Honda in Madison. It's gotta be wild.
Go to Amazon.com skills to enable Channel 3000 news briefs.
Welcome back. It's 6:51. Time for the morning sprint.
We start with breaking news overnight. Right now, Madison police are investigating a report of shots being fired. It happened just before midnight on the city's south side near Goodman Park. Numerous callers reported this incident, and with their help, officers were able to find evidence of 10 casings. As of this morning, there are no reports of injuries or property damage.
An 18-year-old in the hospital this morning recovering from serious injuries after someone shot him over the weekend. It happened on Baroquewood Drive just off Seminole Highway at 5 Sunday morning. Police say several people were in an apartment when multiple rounds came through a window and hit the teenager. Investigators believe the shooter was someone who targeted the apartment and walked up to the window. Police have not made any arrests.
The Wisconsin Senate will meet today to hold a special session about police reform. Governor Evers called the session after a Kenosha police officer shot Jacob Blake in the back 7 times. The governor had first introduced a package of criminal justice reforms earlier this summer after George Floyd's death. Some of the proposals include creating statewide use of force standards and requiring annual de-escalation training. The chamber won't debate anything immediately. It will work through dozens of proposals in the coming months.
Breaking overnight, one day before President Trump's scheduled visit to Kenosha, the police department says it won't participate in today's news briefing. Instead of answering questions publicly, they're releasing these statistics about protests over the past week. They say this is what they would have shared at the briefing. Police say its officers took more than 20 guns and arrested at least 175 people. 102 of those arrests are from people not from Kenosha and from 44 different cities.
Again, hard to celebrate, so I'm going to say justice for Jacob Blake and justice for Breonna Taylor. Thank you.
Celebrities at last night's MTV VMA Awards took the chance to speak to racial injustice. The Weeknd, who you just heard from, is this year's winner for Best R&B Video and Video of the Year. He said it's hard to celebrate. The show's host, Keke Palmer, also spoke about Kenosha and Jacob Blake, saying it's a devastating reminder that police brutality and injustice can never be tolerated.
Even after the Brewers lost to the Pirates, they're still sitting in second place in the NL Central. There are 4 weeks to go in the regular season. The top 2 teams from each division will qualify for the postseason this year. The Brewers will play the Tigers in Detroit tonight. First pitch is at 6:40.
The Bucs will be back on the court later today in the Eastern Conference semifinals to face off against the Miami Heat. Heat ended up sweeping the Pacers in the first round. It's the first time the Bucs have advanced to the conference semifinals in consecutive years and more than 3 decades. Tip-off for Game 1 is set for 5:30 local time on TNT.
Wisconsin now has more than 75,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19. More than 1,100 people have died. We're also seeing an increase in the percentage of positive cases over the last 2 weeks. You can see that right here on this graph. The most recent data from the DHS shows more than 10% of yesterday's cases came back positive.
Today is the last day for move-in at UW-Madison, and we're still seeing a rather low percentage of positive cases coming from university testing sites. 1.5% of tests done over the past week have come back positive. The trend is increasing, though. Overall, more than 100 confirmed cases have appeared on campus.
Flags will fly at half-staff today in honor of the Dane County Sheriff's deputy who died from COVID-19. Deputy Rich Treadwell died just over a week ago after getting the virus while on duty. Governor Evers ordered the flags to fly half-staff from sunrise to sunset today in his honor.
Happening right now, an active statewide silver alert is happening right now. It is from this man on your screen, 68-year-old Armando Rodriguez from Sheboygan. Rodriguez is 5'6" and weighs 190 pounds. The Department of Justice says they think he's either in Milwaukee or the Wisconsin Dells. He has white hair and brown eyes and hasn't been seen since around 9 last night. Rodriguez has a history of Alzheimer's. You can find all of this information and more over on the Channel 3000 mobile app. Final look at traffic right now. That includes an update on this crash up in Columbia County this morning. Again, I-90 westbound is slow after a rollover crash just after Highway 33. Right now, crews are in the process of cleaning that up. Down to 1 lane, but traffic is slow in that area, so you will want to route around that. Back here in Madison, things off to a pretty smooth start. Everything on the belt line looking good, moving at posted speeds. That's your first warn traffic.
We're watching showers and thunderstorms from the northwest gradually work their way into south central Wisconsin. We'll really notice that chance of rain increasing closer towards your lunchtime. It'll be a thin line, so it's not going to be that widespread. This is 10 o'clock. It's hitting the west. Lunchtime right on top of Madison. Then that moves out by the time we move into the evening. A shot of cooler air comes in the extended forecast.
Thank you, Chris. Have a good Monday.